How much does it cost to build an application? As an entrepreneur, an app can potentially make you millions. As a business owner, it can help you to improve your business processes, or it can even help you to reach out to millions of new customers. I have worked in this app industry for almost 10 years, and I have helped build apps that cost from $10,000 until $100,000. So there are three main factors that define how much it's gonna cost to build your application. In this video, I'm gonna break down those three factors for you. So the first main factor that defines the cost of an application is the platform. It's very important for you to decide which platform you're gonna build this app for. Right? So there are two main platforms. The first is the mobile application, and the second is the website. Websites are usually cheaper to build as compared to mobile applications, but in this video, we're gonna concentrate only on mobile applications, and all my time and cost estimates will be around mobile application. When it comes to mobile applications, there are two options. One is native, and the second one is hybrid. When we talk about native apps, it's usually the apps that are developed twice, one for iOS and other one for Android. Hybrid app, on the other side, is developed only once, and it will work on both iOS and Android devices. To give you an example, the banking apps that we use every day for everyday banking, for transferring funds, those are usually native apps. The reason those are built on native platforms is because they connect with multiple other systems, and for the better performance, the native is the way to go for banking apps or any other apps that connect with multiple systems or any hardware devices. Hybrid, on the other hand, Facebook is a great example of hybrid app. Facebook doesn't connect to any kind of third-party services. It's their own platform. Hybrids are usually 40% cheaper than the native app, because the hybrid app you have to develop it only once, as compared to native you have to develop apps twice, one for iOS and for Android. So the second main factor that defines the cost of your application is the functionality your application will have, depending on what problem that you're solving by building this application. Okay, here we'll take some examples of the functionalities that you see in the apps that you use every day. Right? The first main functionality that you see is user profile. You can see user profile on Facebook, on Instagram. We'll go with the assumption here that it roughly approximately takes about 20 hours to build user profile. Right? The second main functionality we're going to discuss is the newsfeed. Again, newsfeed is something that you see in the apps that you use every day, like your Facebook, Instagram. And again, it takes, let's say we go with the assumption that it estimately takes for 40 hours to build this application, right? And the company that's going to build this project, or it's going to build this app, right, they have an hourly rate of $20, right? So roughly, if you do some math here, so it's about 60 hours to build newsfeed and user profile. And we go with the assumption that the company who is developing it has an hourly rate of $20, so it roughly comes around $1,200 just to build user profile and newsfeed. So it really depends on what functionality that you need in your application, and that will define the cost. So the third main factor that will define the cost of your application is going to be the services that we're going to use in the application. I'll start with giving some examples here again. So Uber uses Google Maps, right? They use Google Maps services. The maps that we see on the Uber app is not something that Uber has designed or developed. They use this third-party Google Maps to actually display the maps on the app itself. So let's say we go with the assumption that it takes about 10 hours to integrate the Google Maps on the application. The second example I'm going to choose is a payment system. So we all use eBay to buy shop products. So they use a payment mechanism called PayPal to accept the payments. We'll go with the estimate that to integrate the PayPal, it takes about 40 hours. Right? And again, the same assumption will make that the company or the developer who is working on this project, their hourly rate is $20. So if we do the math here, it's about 50 hours to integrate Google Maps and payment system, and we times it by $20. So that comes down to roughly about $1,000. Yeah, it's very important to establish what third-party services that you will need on your application, and that will again define how much it's going to cost to build that particular aspect of your application. So these are the three main factors that define the cost of the application. There are many other questions to be answered that will define the cost of your application. One of those factors is outsourcing. Outsourcing will have the impact on on the cost of your application. It might also have a negative impact on the quality of your application. To build a great product, it's important that you strike a balance between the cost and the quality of the product. We at Elegant Media strike the balance between both the quality and the cost. At Elegant Media, we have been developing market leading apps in Australia, New Zealand, and US for the last 10 years. We provide a free consultation with one of our project consultants who can help you to establish the exact cost of your application. Please give us a call or you can drop us an email to understand the cost of your application. Thank you for watching this video.